On today's episode of the Because
We Want To
podcast. Even if you don't know the guy, you've at least pronounced his name incorrectly a time or two.
Yes, Patrick has. That's why I said it on the episode mostly.
Yes, I still struggle sometimes. Of course, we're talking today about Randy Bocook with the Bocook Realty team, locally here to the Richmond Hill area. We had the opportunity to sit down and talk with both him and his son Harrison about the realty world around here in Richmond Hill.
Yeah, and we touched upon a few other things, a couple funny stories.
Like monkeys smoking cigarettes.
Yes, that was interesting. One thing that I really enjoyed listening to was how Harrison graduated from college without any debt and no help from dad, which is pretty impressive.
Absolutely.
Randy actually started in the real estate industry about 23 years ago when Harrison was about a week old, and I believe he said they lived in a trailer at the time, which he no longer lives in a trailer. Spoiler alert. And then, several years back, he decided to venture out on his own. He started Bocook Realty.
It has then since grown into be the best of the area, which he shamelessly plugs in the episode a couple times. They are definitely behind quite a few things here around Richmond Hill.
Yeah, and that seems to be an ongoing trend with a lot of businesses here. So I think that's huge to continue to hear. And then also one of the big takeaways for me was that he actually has found a way to provide his agents a plan for the future. In the world of real estate or any other primarily commission job, it's very difficult to plan for the future. It's very difficult to seek retirement or have that plan. And he's found a way to really set that up for his agents.
Absolutely has. Enjoy the episode. Hot Spot Dinners, a locally owned Richmond Hill husband and wife business that also serves the greater Savannah area.
They specialize in family dinner packages delivered directly to your door, take and bake concept, feeding 5 to 6 people per dinner package, which I can attest to because I ordered their food a couple weeks ago and I had leftovers for 2 days.
We always have leftovers.
Rotating menu with no repeat entrees for 14 weeks. Check out Hot Spot Dinners.
Aren't they delicious?
All right, guys, we are sitting here with Randy and Harrison Bocook in their office located in the, what's the name of the restaurant here?
Molly McPherson's
parking lot, all the way in the back.
Closer to Fiji.
Yeah. Pretty nice office.
There is an alligator on the wall.
There's an alligator on the wall. There's a dry erase board that you would never know is a dry erase board because I've been sitting here for 20 minutes and I had no idea.
It looks like a weird privacy window.
It kind of is interesting. I am going to teach Harrison how to write on him with Sharpie and not have his dad kill him when we're done. So, guys, thanks for taking the time to sit with us.
Thank you for asking us to be a part of it.
We appreciate it. Dad, I think you should tell the story about the alligator mural behind us.
I was just about to ask, so thank you.
That's awesome. So here's a great story. We recently moved into a new building. We bought a building in the Molly McPherson's building, and I finally got my own little office and have it decorated the way I've always wanted. I have the posters up I want, which is crazy, insane. And I had a brick wall installed, and I told my wife, I said, hey, I'm going to get a Richmond Hill mural painted on the brick wall. Now, when you say that, you just automatically assume it's going to be the Richmond Hill Lettuce Company, right? That's what she thought. But I never said Richmond Hill Lettuce Company. I had Chris Walker, big shout out to him. He paints the murals around town. He came in one weekend. I told him, I said, hey, Chico's Monkey Farm, the tourist trap from the 70s, 60s, and 70s that I attended when I was a little boy, paint that on the wall. And he said, are you sure? And I said, absolutely, paint it on the wall. So he painted me Chico's Monkey Farm on the wall, the tourist trap, and I get a lot of comments on this. It's what I wanted. So now when people come into my office, it's a way of kind of getting their attention to that first and breaking the ice a little bit. So it's good.
So I do have a couple follow-up questions. Was there actually a monkey farm?
Mm-hmm. It was actually right on Highway 17, right before you get to the Liberty County line. Okay. Right there on the right, there was a big yellow building. Big yellow. They had monkeys that smoked cigarettes. I don't really know why.
The alligator is holding a cigar.
Yeah, there was a big alligator there named Clyde. All of the monkeys, all of the gorillas smoked cigarettes. Nowadays they wouldn't let that happen.
Nowadays they would put negative patches on them.
The surgeon,
Nicorette gum or something.
Yeah, the Surgeon General. So it was a tourist trap, and you would go there. The monkeys were lethargic, but they knew how to smoke accurately, which is insane to me. It looked pretty insane as a kid looking at that. Great story is I was told later that some of the monkeys escaped when they closed the place down. And people would see chimpanzees for a couple years around Richmond Hill. Mm-hmm. So I thought that was a great little story there.
So how did they light the cigarettes?
You know what? I think I don't know how I didn't see that part of it, but they literally, no exaggeration, they would smoke like a normal human, take drags, and just blow it out, and it was just an insane thing to see as a kid. And that was one of their big tricks. Watch these monkeys get lung cancer. You know?
Think about trying to do that now.
Oh gosh. Well, the other thing
Someone
I remember
would get
is
canceled.
yeah. I do remember some young girls around town, and they would pull their hair or scratch them. The monkeys, the cages were so close that they would get scratched.
That's
so,
crazy.
Sounds like a lawsuit.
Oh yeah.
Now, by the way, people of PETA, we do not support this practice or antics. Just want to go ahead and COA ourselves.
So before I ask you about these posters, I do, because you said Monkey Farm, talking about that. Have you guys ever been to Ocala, Florida?
Yes. Absolutely.
Have you heard about the monkeys in Ocala?
No.
So I don't have all the details for the entire story, but I have seen them. So in the Springs, I guess there used to be, back in the 70s, 60s, 70s, whatever, there used to be a park that had animals, and there were monkeys in there. And actually in the lagoon, I think there's some statues where they recorded like one of the James Bond movies. In the Blue Lagoon, cool. The Monster Blue, I think was recorded there too. I could be wrong, but I think it was. So anyways, apparently either the monkeys were left or they escaped from this park when the park shut down years ago. I'm sure there's some detail I'm missing, but I've seen them. If you go kayaking in the Springs and you can see them on the trees, and they'll get they seem vicious. Like,
wow.
You want to stay away from them. So
Wow.
I didn't believe it until I saw monkeys, and I saw them
about that?
watching me on the
Wow.
Springs of all places, Ocala, Florida.
Ocala, Florida. The horse capital of Florida is also the monkey capital.
Yeah.
All right, so what was it up with the 70s? I have not heard of this monkey.
That was before
rage.
regulations and cancel culture started.
No, I mean, I knew about, the other habits of the 70s, Woodstock stuff, but I never knew about the obsession with let's capture monkeys.
Probably all the people that came from Woodstock were still residual effects.
Pre-internet, no fun. So find something to do.
Now, Randy, you were around during that time. Could you give us a little bit more?
Thank you. Let's just point to the 50-year-old. Point to him.
Hey, my dad's got 20 years on you, man. You're good.
Good.
I was like, we have several decades represented in this room right now.
That's right.
I mean, he's still in his teens.
He just turned 23.
I was going to say
23.
Close
Harrison's 23. I turned 52 in July, so he's.
So you're barely a 90s baby.
Barely. 98.
I hate you.
Hey, Harrison, I remember my first beer.
I don't drink.
You haven't had a drink? Oh,
He's just kidding.
I was like, you went to college. Come on.
Yeah. He went to the University of Georgia.
And you just graduated, right?
Well, he went to the University of Georgia, but when he says he doesn't drink, he got a 4.0 degree in finance. And I told someone the other day, and he heard me. I said, hey, he never made a B in college. And he pulled me aside and he said, Dad, just to make sure that I'm clear, I never made an A- in college. I said, oh, I'm sorry. So he did not drink in college. He was that guy that made sure he had straight A's in college.
I was the dork.
He was the dork.
Well, congratulations on that. I went to the University of Alabama. I partook in a little bit of the adult fun.
I partook so much and had to stop playing sports, which then forced me to not want to go to school anymore. So long that I didn't finish my bachelor's degree until last summer.
Wow. Hey, good for you, though.
Well, you're 25 years old. Why are you kidding yourself?
I know, right? Just a few years, one course at a time.
Yeah.
But I mean, I did well. I mean, I made the dean's list a couple semesters, and it only took 4.5 years to graduate, which was actually in my family with all my cousins and stuff. I think I'm the fastest to have graduated. So.
A lot of my
the
friends.
The dean's list he's talking about is the one where kids get in trouble, and it's a list of kids that he calls.
No, I was not on double secret probation.
No, you can make a dean list like that. That's good.
They had a dean's list at Alabama.
Yes.
Is that where you went? Alabama?
Well, that's an oxymoron, though, isn't it?
So
coming from the people who stole our coaches.
Listen, all your teams, including my wife's team, all pay for players. So let's just.
Hey, by the way,
at least when my team pays for players, it's legal.
By the way, do y'all want to play us again? Just make sure we keep in our first string quarterback against you guys.
All you need to do is point to scoreboard, and Georgia can shut up.
I will say this is Georgia's year. What is this? 2021. This is our year.
Harrison, what did I tell you? What did I tell you when you were a Georgia fan when you were little? How did I say it to you?
Well, it was the Georgia-Alabama SEC championship game. I think it was 2011 or something like that. And Georgia, they had that game won, every bit of it. They're driving down the field.
And I text you.
Is this when we about took Aaron Murray's head off?
Yes.
On the interception?
Yep.
It was the Aaron Murray year. Well, he told me before, he said, and this is coming, I'm 12, 13 years old at the time, so he says it. It's
Good Lord, I was 23, 24.
I was drinking at
I was
the time.
25. I actually was drinking there in this game. I had a bottle of Crown Royal Maple.
He said, the Georgia Bulldogs will break your heart. Every time you root for them, there will be a time during the season where they will lose a game that they're not supposed to lose, and it will break your heart. And that has been true for the last decade.
Every year. I just told him, be prepared. If you're a Georgia fan, they will break your heart.
And hearing that now, I think of it every single year.
And you can't watch a game now because you know it's coming.
If it's a big game, I know it's
You know
coming.
it's coming.
They're going
And
to lose.
Georgia fans, y'all are all searching for one more year of eligibility for Herschel Walker because he still could do it now.
How about
probably
this?
could.
Herschel Walker as senator from the state of Georgia.
Yeah.
Is he a senator?
He's not, but he might run.
He run?
Under
He might
Republican
run.
Yeah.
Party, right?
Yeah, because I remember last year he was supporting Purdue and
Yeah.
Loeffler.
He's a Trump guy, too.
Yeah,
He's a
he
Trump
like
guy.
Trump guy.
That'll
I
be
don't know.
interesting to have him.
Matthew McConaughey is thinking about Texas governor, and then I
Hey,
believe
you know what I
TV
think?
comes to fruition. The Rock needs to become president.
Hey, you know,
Just for the heck of
you
it.
know what I think about Matthew McConaughey becoming governor
just
of
kidding, by
Texas?
the way.
I think that's all right.
In all fairness, too, he actually is a pretty intelligent guy.
Yeah,
McConaughey's
He plays
awesome.
No
some-
question.
He plays some funky characters.
no
but
question.
He's really intelligent. So,
Yeah.
all right. So so we're transitioning to an actor, and you've got some pretty interesting posters up here. So,
Citizen
Kane, Hearts of Darkness. I've actually never heard that one.
Yeah, so I just wanted to make sure my office had things on there in the office that I liked and inspired me. And my favorite movie of all time is Citizen Kane. I know that sounds crazy. It's a 75-year-old movie. And then there was a documentary made called Hearts of Darkness, was a film made basically as a documentary by Eleanor Coppola, Francis Ford Coppola's wife, while he was filming Apocalypse Now.
Okay,
And
that
it's
makes
just
sense.
a phenomenal documentary showing how he just went into madness to make that movie. So, and we're doing a little bit of movies on our part time now. We've executive produced a couple things, so we have a little bit of a passion for the movie industry, and we love it.
Well, if you ever don't need a face, he's your guy.
Face for podcasts, radio
Yeah,
podcasts.
absolutely.
There you go.
I'll do that. I did do a little acting as a kid, but I don't think that counts.
No.
It was theater, so. And I was on TV as a kid. We did do a local broadcast stuff, so.
Very cool.
I got hit at a minor league baseball game by a foul ball. I was on TV.
So you've been selling homes for 23 years.
Real estate agent selling homes for 23 years in this area. So, yeah, we love it.
How is talk about the ups and downs of the real estate market over here in this area?
You know, I tell you, real estate in general has a little bit of an ups and downs, but Richmond Hill is a bedroom community to Fort Stewart and Savannah. And even when I was a kid, the schools were good. So it's not a new thing where the schools just became good in the last 5 or 10 years. In the 70s and 80s, the schools were really good. Now, there was one school, and I remember the class of 84, I think, where there was 40 kids that graduated in the class of 1984. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure of that. The schools are good. And when you have good schools, you're going to attract good people. And that typically levels out your ups and downs on the real estate market. During the real estate crash of 2008, 9, and 10, Richmond Hill suffered a little bit, but not like any other cities. We still sold a bunch of homes. We still did a lot of business, and during the recession. So it's Richmond because of the people, because of the schools. It's less of a roller coaster in Richmond Hill than any other city.
Now, would you say that that's because when someone moves into Richmond Hill, they tend to stay for long term, and that's why there's not so much of a roller coaster?
You know, I tell you, they don't. The biggest part of our business, the people stay 3 to 5 years. That's it. Mm-hmm. They're gone. The military, Fort Stewart brings us probably, I would say, would you say 50, 60% of the people that move into our city?
Yeah, it's probably half of the people that come here.
So it's a 3 to 5 year process, and then they're gone. Yeah. You do have some old school mainstay people that have been here forever, the Deerings, the Casey family. Just a lot of people that have been here for a very long time. Mayor Russ Carpenter and his family's been here. Billy McGrath and his family. It's just there's a lot of people that are old-time Richmond Hill that you know who they are. They've been here forever. But you also have a big influx of military people that come in and they do their time here, 3 to 5 years, and then they leave. Mm-hmm. So, and that's the reason why the real estate market is good, because you don't have stagnant homes. People are building new homes, and the age of the buyer is about the same, but it's 25 years old. I believe, what's the average age of Richmond Hill?
The average age of Richmond Hill, I have no idea.
It's mid-30s.
It's 31. It's 31.
Yeah,
I do remember now. It's 31 years old is the average buyer in Richmond Hill. And,
the stability of the real estate market here comes from the turnover. It
right.
turns over pretty quickly.
That's right.
And so that's why there's always a constant.
It's like a new draft class each year.
That's right.
And my house was on the market for less than 12 hours.
There you go. There you go.
So
not too bad.
It's and I will tell you, we're in an extreme seller's market now. I've only seen one other seller's market like this in 23 years. And I tell the agents, enjoy it while you can. If you list homes, if you're a buyer's agent, it makes your life a lot tougher. But it's a rare thing. And typically, what they call a seller's market is when the inventory lasts less than 6 months is the average time on market, and inventory is now lasting less than 30 days. A lot of cases now.
Yeah, and it's so crazy to think about. There's homes now that have just gotten up in terms of the price to where they were, before the last recession.
That's funny because you can look back on the tax records and see a home in 2005, 2006, and 2007, and you go, my God, they paid that much for that home back then? Well, that was pre-crash. Mm-hmm. The prices did appreciate faster than they should have, but it was a lack of inventory problem now. Now you have regional bigger builders in here like Syntex and D.R. Horton and Mungo and some of these builders from outside of the region bring in massive amounts of inventory to our area.
Yeah.
So
go ahead.
In regards to the town right now, obviously, I mean, as someone from the outside, I keep an eye on stuff, and we're going through, some of our trying to not refi our mortgage, but get a couple changes made on it since the market's up, and we've done some improvements. So I've been looking at the market, and clearly stuff is moving quickly, trying to find comparables to submit and have them look at. But also during the process, like I told you before, we have a horror story, and maybe we'll get into that. But doing research for construction, looking at houses, when I was talking to people in these different neighborhoods, it just seems like they're building hundreds of houses.
Yeah.
How does that, as in your position, how does that impact the community? Obviously, they're building new schools, to support the community. How do we keep the school system, in play to stay at the level it's at? And then also, how many more, I'm sure you guys have an idea, how many more houses are they building back there? I mean, how much space is there?
So I am going to be the only realtor you'll ever hear that says, slow down and stop building. That was my argument from the beginning. I had to, WTOC came in and interviewed me about, I'm not pro, build as many homes as you can and just sell the hell out of them. That's really not what we're about. We're about to have a stable group of homes that have a good turnover, and you don't have an influx of inventory that's kicking your ass. The one thing I like about what's going to happen is Bill Cunningham and his group with Rayonier, he's the developer of the property that was annexed by the city. They're putting the infrastructure in before they put the first home in. So all of that property over there that people were bitching and complaining about, there's too many people on the roads and stuff, all of that is true in a lot of areas in Richmond Hill. But this development over there that they're going to build literally thousands of homes over there by the new high school, over there by the middle school. They're going to build thousands of homes over there. Now, I don't know exactly when, but they'll build thousands. But guess what has happened first? They have the Ogeechee Parkway, which is the road that goes from Belfast Keller to Harris Trail, already paved and ready. They have the new exit off the interstate already there. As a matter of fact, I believe that Rayonier paid several $1 million to expedite that off-ramp on I-95 to make sure it was done faster to get it done. So the infrastructure's in place. The new high school's in place. That, if you like it or you don't, that new exit there, that will be the Pooler Parkway of Richmond Hill in a more structured, organized way. And the reason why it's going to be more structured and organized is you have one company, the paper company, that's they're in the development business, and they are going to sell the track smartly using a master plan, not just randomly selling someone a lot to go build a McDonald's on. That's not going to happen.
Which compare that to what they did with Pooler Parkway.
That's right.
And it was the latter of what you just said.
Chick-fil-A?
Yeah, there will be a Chick-fil-A there, I bet. If I had to guess, that's where it will be.
You heard it here first, people. Yeah. Richmond Hill's getting a Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, well, I get that question more than I do anything about how's your family, how's things going. Randy, what about Chick-fil-A?
Right. If you look at the Richmond Hill community page on Facebook, everything's Chick-fil-A, Chick-fil-A, Chick-fil-A.
Think about how busy that Chick-fil-A would be.
Not on Sunday.
Not on Sunday.
Not on Sunday, but they would have 3 car attendants out there in the parking lot, and that you would be done in 10 minutes.
And I'm going to tell you something. The service is good, and your order's right. They have
always.
My pleasure.
And their ice cream machines always work.
That's right. That's right. We have.
Don't even get me started on the waffle fry.
Yeah, we have the
Chick-fil-A sauce
systems. We make a living. The reason why we're so successful in our real estate company is we systemize everything. That's Chick-fil-A. Everything's a system. So you don't have randomness, and that will kill your profit. That will kill your business. You eliminate
logistical flow.
But I had a real estate coach tell me one time that randomness will destroy your business. If you're vague, you're going to be punished. So plan it out.
Yeah, no, foundational process for me, like that's just how I mentally process every day. I need, even just in my personal life, I need some sort of just like, okay, this is how my day's gonna go. I want to know, and if he can attest to this. If it's thrown off by even a minute, it takes me like 5 minutes to get over it.
I'm the exact opposite. I'm like, I was supposed to do this.
I should probably put a shirt on.
I feel like taking y'all should just be glad I'm wearing pants.
Jim asked for this 7 days ago. I haven't even started yet.
Y'all should just be glad
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm like, I should be doing this right now, but a nap seems really good.
So is it true? Someone said something about this, or I read it somewhere. Is it true we're getting a Home Depot?
I don't know anything about a Home Depot.
Home Depot is supposed to be down towards... What's the development down?
I kind of don't want one.
What's the development down Ford? Is it Waterways?
All the way down?
Yeah, the Home Depot is supposed to be down there. Down.
I can't imagine a Home Depot going there with just traffic pattern.
Yeah,
just
not. It would have to be closer to the exit.
Yeah. Yeah, that's where. From what I have heard, that's where it's supposed to be going down that way.
I think it's a bad idea, but I'm good. I mean, we've got a couple awesome local places in town, and if I really need to go to Home Depot or Lowe's, I don't mind driving into Savannah.
It's 25 minutes to get there.
It's not bad on Evercorn. So
not bad.
So you've been selling homes for 23 years. When did you start Bocook Realty?
So interesting story. Big shout out to Lynn Baines and Alice Steyer. They're actually they allowed me to come to work at Remax and got me started in the business. They believed in me. I was a poor kid living in a trailer with 4 kids. And I know I've been in real estate for 23 years because Harrison was 1 week old when I got started. So it was 23 years ago in May.
Was he that bad of a kid that you wanted to get a job that soon?
Well, the reality of it is I go, oh, hell, I have 4 kids. I live in a trailer in Midway. I better get started. That was really the story there. Then luckily he doesn't remember that trailer. His older sisters do. But they gave me a start in real estate, and I just made it a point that I was going to grind it out and hustle. And we started Bocook Realty about 4 years ago. We were with Keller Williams and Remax for a very long time. So it just grew into having our own brokerage after a while. And then recently we added to our platform the brokerage EXP, which has been absolutely game changing just in the 5 months we've been there. And I'm very grateful about that. It's a very good model. If you haven't heard it, you got to see the model. But we just made it a point to try to be really good at real estate and take care of people and just have a different system. Harrison, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I think you hit on it earlier. It's all about systems, putting systems in place as a business. And Randy he preaches systems to every single one of the agents that we have on our team. And
well, at the University of Alabama, they call that the process.
It's the process. we think of it as the process too. You got to trust the process because we had 10 agents in 2020, and that has since grown to about 25 agents midway through 2021. And we've partnered with about another 50 of them, and we have reach now in Connecticut and Florida and New York. And we can now take what was a family brand, Bocook Realty, just a local real estate company, and have essentially global reach to be able to share with them Randy's success, because he's sold thousands of homes. There's not a better real estate agent ever, I think, than my dad Randy is. He's
on a little brown stuff there.
He's just
That's my boy.
If you
Is
see
he needing money or something?
He needs that final tuition check paid.
that's the reason why I got into real estate.
Well,
is
let
to
me
pay
tell
the
you.
tuition.
Let me jump into this. I'm going to brag on him a little bit more. His freshman year, I bought him a car. That's the one thing I did, and then I said, hey, what do I need to do? Let me know about how things work and who to give a check to. He got a real estate license his freshman year and paid his entire way to Georgia. He graduated with no student loans. He went to school full time. We graduated with straight A's. Sold homes in the summer, Christmas break, and then spring break, and left University of Georgia with a 4-year degree with no student debt. I didn't pay any of your college. You did all that on your own with real estate.
Yeah, real estate, it was the best part-time job in the world, because I was able to jump in just for the summers and grind it out it was really 3 months of the year. And you were able to create enough income to pay through school. And just finishing the previous point, though, and I'm not trying to brown nose Randy, but the idea is he's been in the business 23 years. He sold thousands of homes. We can now take that and partner with agents all over the country who need that kind of coaching and mentorship. And that's what this EXP thing's all about.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was going to ask you a little bit more about the EXP, because I have no idea what it is, and I'm assuming that 49 of our potential 200 listeners have no idea either. So can you give us a little more detail on why you went this road, this direction, and what it is?
So last year we sold 366 homes. 368 homes. No, who's counting? And so
Not the finance guy.
Not the guy for the finance guy, but we sold 368 homes last year, and we kind of reached almost, I would say, a ceiling, or kind of reached a point where we've done all we can as a mom and pop. And we were recruited by EXP, and basically it's a national, global actually platform that adds to your business the ability to earn stock. They're traded on the NASDAQ. They also offer a program called Revenue Share. It's just an ingenious, beautiful system created by Glenn Stanford that we fell in love with. I mean, my income was already really high. I'm not going to argue or complain about that. So it wasn't broken.
Who's counting?
Yeah, that's right. It wasn't broken.
He's not living in the trailer anymore.
No, not anymore. Thank God.
No, that's what Harrison's living.
He just bought his first house the other day.
Hey, congratulations.
So,
Thank you.
But what happens is it allows us to take this to a national level, and then the agents with me they now have a future that they can retire. Mm-hmm. It creates passive income. It creates stock ownership in the company. My agents, it's going to change their life faster than they thought. They can get off the real estate treadmill of selling until you're 100. The old saying is, I've been to a bunch of real estate funerals, but I've never been to a retirement party for a real estate agent.
Mm. And that's the big thing, is the real estate industry has failed the real estate agent.
Yeah.
And it's kind of get into the weeds of the real estate industry, but we'll touch on it because it was important for us. Is you sell, your only source of income is selling commission. Well, you reach a certain point where you don't want to sell homes anymore, and let's just, even if it's an age thing or an energy thing, you want to retire, you want to exit real estate, and the traditional real estate model does not give you that opportunity to do that. EXP, that's where EXP comes in. They offer 2 platforms and pillars of additional income: equity in the company through stock, and then a revenue sharing program that solves that problem for the real estate agent.
Do they help podcasters?
Well, I tell you, it's amazing. We have several of our top leadership at EXP. They all have dynamic podcasts on a national level, and we love listening to them and watch them. So, yes, they do podcasts on a high level, but it's a very different
If you look
concept.
at our pop filters, we could definitely just cover that up, put an E right here.
That's it. And that's actually the stock EXPI. So you got
That's
XPI.
exactly
We're almost there.
Dude,
No, I think that's awesome that you guys
please
are
reach
doing
out
that.
to us.
Because for someone who I worked for a Fortune 15 company for about 14 years and then left, and now for the last couple of years I've been working for a very profitable company, but in terms of people, very small. And kind of spoiled because you got your 401k, you get your benefits, and then as I've started stuff on the side, and I'm like, okay, how much would it cost me if I left do this? And you're like, I'll just keep doing this.
Yeah, exactly.
Between benefits
Wait,
and
insurance payment
401k,
is what now?
Yeah, insurance is high enough as it is with the company paying for most of it.
Right.
I mean, I can only imagine.
Especially when you add a kid on. When it's you and your spouse, it's like reasonable. Then you have the kid on.
Yeah, it's $800,000 a month sometimes.
Right, like mine, I have great, and mine's like $660. Granted, like that all comes out of my paycheck, so I don't miss it. But I mean,
right.
And I have great insurance. I'm not complaining one bit about my insurance, because they're actually helping my wife and I a lot with infertility stuff. Like we only have to pay like $500-600 out of pocket for everything.
Well, that's good because that stuff can get really expensive.
That's a visit.
So,
for me
and
for other stuff.
And the only reason why we have a kid right now is because of IVF, and we were with a similar provider that provided infertility help as well, but this provider provides even more than that, and it's just amazing. Like deductibles are ridiculously low, out-of-pocket levels are ridiculously low. I mean,
people make a lot of decisions based on their benefit package more than they do income.
And like, I love the company I work for, but I had a job before I switched and went with them. I had actually just gotten a job. And Jim can attest to this because I called him crying, like not knowing what to do.
And I spent 30 minutes telling him to
Jim's a Boston guy. I wanted to call Jim and talk to him because I knew Jim would tell me straight.
Let me tell him the short version so we can get back to the original point. So the short version was Patrick called me. Hey, I've got this great job. These people are amazing. It's Monday through Friday. It's 9 to 5. But then I got this other job offer where I'll get one day off during the week. I'm going to make $20,000 more minimum. The benefits are going to be better, and I have to work one weekend day a week. Why are we talking?
Hence the University of Alabama.
Why are we even having this conversation? But I really like these people. Who cares? Like, I'm sorry,
well,
but
I mean, it felt good for you, so it was a hard decision.
It was a really hard decision. And when I left the other place, like the president, like as I'm walking out, he shook my hand. He says, "You're doing this for the right reason."
That's right.
He said, "You're doing this for the right reason."
No, I mean, I feel for you. I don't want anybody to think I'm heartless, but it's like at the end of the day, you got to do what
you and the Grinch could compete in heart size.
Really? We could compete. Hey Jim, can I have this? Yes, you can have it. I need this. Yes, you can have it. So, anyways, back to the original point.
I made one.
Yeah. I put on a facade.
Jim.
If you need something, I'll give it to you. But those are
Jim is a great guy.
Those are the things that factor in. Like we talk about with your agents, like they could never even think about retiring because they're too worried about that stuff.
That's right.
Yeah.
And now you've created an option.
I will tell you that for the most part, the grind in just making a paycheck to pay your rent as an agent is the most controlling thought in your mind. But on our team, our agents all do really well. We sell a lot. Now let's think ahead longer than 3 days and paying rent and stuff. Let's think ahead to what are you going to be this time next year. I make them all set goals, and it's accountability. But I want to provide to them a better future, and EXP does that. I mean, it's clear. Just in the 5 months we've been with them, it's going to provide a fantastic future for my agents and us.
Yeah, and that's the one thing is the average real estate agent makes $30,000 a year probably.
Maybe.
So it's not
It's a lot of work.
And it's a lot of work for that $30,000.
And that's you grinding it by yourself. No guarantee.
You're by yourself.
Anything.
You're on an island. The best thing about real estate is they leave you alone. The worst thing about real estate is they leave you alone.
Yeah. That's why you need a good team and a good structure to come in so that you can have some sort of discipline and a sense of direction. Like, okay, this is what I need to do day to day.
Do this, don't do that. Do this, don't do that.
Yeah. To not make $30,000 a year, to make a lot more than that.
Yeah.
What's the turnover average, or what has it been for you guys? If you know the answer to the first one.
So like, I guess do industry and then industry first, and then
Let's
you guys.
talk about industry. 87% or 87 out of 100 people who enter the real estate profession will be out of the profession in 2 years or less. Wow. So 87 out of 100.
Those are the ones making the $30,000 probably.
That's right.
Yeah.
And so, and I think on the brokerage side, somebody told me you have a 30% turnover.
Yeah.
On the brokerage side, but our agents, knock on wood, for the most part, they all stay. We rarely lose someone unless there's a little bit of a cultural or misfit on their personality compared to our team. We might ask them to leave, or they might leave on their own. But for the most part, my agents are in a good. I teach them I give them fish, but I teach them how to fish at a high level. So we don't want them just to be robots out there. We want them to have personality. And that's a big difference between our group and some of the other local groups in town is we want our agents to be the stars out there. So if you look at our social media and our posts and stuff, we're putting our agents front and center all the time. I don't need to be in front of the camera. I don't need to be in front of that post. It's about my agents first and foremost, because I've done this for a long time, and I don't need anything but making sure that they're successful.
And we've spent the last 6 months to 8 months creating a real estate platform that was really good to a real estate agent.
Yeah.
Like, with the goal in mind to say, what would be the perfect real estate platform for every agent to come in? New, experienced, wherever you are in your real estate journey, if you come and partner with us, it's going to be a mutually beneficial relationship, and we're going to, whatever your goals are in real estate, if you're brand new, your goal is to get started and sell your first 10 homes. Well, you plug into our agent boot camp we have for new agents to come in. If you're experienced, we have experienced agents that partner with us all the time. It's how do you grow it and scale it to the level that this team and this company has?
They'll reach a platform of selling 20 homes a year. They want to get to 100 homes a year. Well, I show them how to get to 100 homes a year on that front.
And it's always putting the agent in front rather than what can we get? What can we charge to provide these services?
That's right.
It's how do we build a sense of community so that everybody wins?
We have found that the more we give and the more we teach and the more we coach, the more income we make. And that sounds a little crazy, but that's exactly what works at a very high level.
And, kind of going along with what you said on that, I mentioned to you earlier that I worked for Enterprise for 3 years, and one of the best quotes I ever heard from Jack Taylor, who started Enterprise, was there are 4 things in your business. There's your clients, your employees, and then there's profit and growth. Put your clients and employees first and foremost, and your profit and growth will follow.
That's right.
It's so good.
That's true.
And I can definitely say the companies that I have worked for that have done that, I've stayed with longer. I've enjoyed longer. The companies that put the other 2 first, I have not stayed with as long.
Yeah.
And I did not enjoy as much.
But it's interesting, too, because in real estate, it's not an employee-employer relationship. You are your own boss to a certain degree.
Right.
So you have to kind of tailor it to be, especially for Randy kind of being the team lead and the boss. It's what do you want out of the real estate profession? What do you want in life? Yeah. And let's structure your schedule so that you get there.
I spend more time as a life coach than I do a real estate coach, because they come to me all the time about, this is happening, my kids, my relationship's not going really well. Well, how does real estate fit into that? What do you need from us to make it better? Or what can I do to help you? Or do you need to take some time off? So it's not like an employee clock in, clock out kind of thing.
Right. But I mean, you doing the EXP for your employees, your teammates. I mean, that's exactly right. That's putting them first, which then in turn it allows you to attract better teammates to put the client then first. Right. And then once you get that, you get more profits. You grow.
We will have
there you go.
We will have hundreds of agents in the local market with our company in the next 24 months. Yeah. I am 100% sure of that, because the model can't be beat. The value proposition of what we're giving back to them can't be beat. The money will be great for us. I'm not going to say that it's not. It seems like you're saying, well, it's all a money. It's not a money play for us. It's more of a, what can we do to make this industry a little bit better and come from contribution.
You're not going to lie, you do enjoy making a little bit.
Make a lot of money. I'm not going to lie to that.
That's how you keep score. Keep score.
Well, that's what I teach him. And listen, money. I'm wearing a simple watch. I'm wearing a simple clothes. I don't have boats. I don't have toys. I don't have sports cars. Money is just a way to keep score. That's all it is. That's all it is. And the more I give, I notice that the more I give to the community and giving back to the community, the more I get in return for other things that are not monetary, but, being voted number 1 realtor, 7 years in a row and really coming out
to just drop that one in there.
Yeah. But just it makes a difference in people's lives. We help a lot of people here, and we love doing that.
Yeah.
A little subtle plug. No, I can definitely attest to that y'all are everywhere, because Jim and I, we both moved here in the mid to the later part of 2019, and one of the first things I see in our mailbox is Bocook Realty. I was like, who the heck is this? And like every day I'm getting another flyer with a different picture on it. I'm like,
we went through several agents before we ended up finding one, but we didn't really know anybody in the area, so we were just kind of going by what everybody recommended because we were living in Florida. And so the person ended up actually helping us buy our house. Awesome guy. If I text him right now, I haven't messaged him in months, but if I text him right now, he would reply. Like he was just a cool guy based out of Savannah. Kind of wish I'd known about you guys and met you guys. It probably would have made our experience a little better because the first portion of the experience was a freaking nightmare. Or it turned out to be one.
You got to go into that. You can't just drop it.
I got to hear it.
All right.
It's got to be good.
So I'm not going to throw names out there because I don't want anybody. There's no bad people except for the a-hole that screwed everything up.
What is his name, Ryan?
I don't know.
I'm kidding.
I have the contract somewhere, I'm sure. So we're living in Florida, and we have been on this multi-year journey of trying to find a place to move, and we had kind of narrowed it down. I think we had narrowed it down to like New Hampshire because I'm originally from New England. I have family up there, so New Hampshire's a really good state to raise a kid. I think we looked at Denver for a minute. Really nice town. I know people say a city. If you've ever been there, it's a town.
Snow, and then hot as hell.
And then we've been coming to Savannah for years. We started with our anniversary, and then we were actually looking at just buying a 2-bedroom condo here because we come here so much. And then we're like, well, now why don't we just move? We changed jobs. Let's just move. So we find an agent, super helpful. We come up here for a day. I can't remember if we had Micah with us or not, if we had someone watching this time. I think we had someone watching because we looked at
probably just left him at home.
We looked at 10 houses. She set up 10 houses on a Saturday. It was a Saturday. So we looked at 10 houses, and we were kind of like, I can't remember the exact order of what ended up happening. We put an offer on one, and then we wanted to retract it because we felt awkward. And we put an offer on this house in Strathy, right near him. It was a foreclosure. We knew what we were getting into. We knew it needed some work, but the price was right. Did some math. I'm like, okay, this is great. They accepted our offer with our contingencies.
Okay.
And then the appraisal came back a little off, but it was easy to adjust.
Was it low? A little low?
It was a little low.
Okay.
But that wasn't even the biggest deal because I'm like, okay, I can overcome that with money. Money fixes that. But then there were some things that needed to be addressed in the house.
Right.
And they agreed to address everything. I didn't ask for the little details because it was a foreclosure. Certain stuff was missing, but they had to put smoke detectors back in the house.
You know that big hole in the wall? Yeah, take care of that.
Remove the body.
There was a squirrel. Living in the attic. Had burrowed into the attic.
Wow.
So part of the condition was that they had to remove the squirrel.
His name was Nut Butter.
And remediate the situation. Clean it. The squirrel had clearly been living there for a long time. Clean it. Take care of that. And that was our biggest concern. If they had come back and said, we'll do everything for the squirrel, but we're not touching anything else, I would have been like, all right, you know what? It's going to cost me $10,000. I'll take care of it. But Nicole, my wife, has really bad allergies. My son was a baby at the time. We're like, no, because that's in the air, all that stuff.
No doubt, yeah.
Now, mind you, this was late August, early September. They agreed to it. Our closing was set for early November. 2 months to take care of the issue.
Okay.
So mid-October, we haven't heard anything. So we messaged the agent, hey, what's going on with this? Have they worked on this stuff? My timing might be a little bit off, but I'm pretty close, I think. Hey, everything going on? Oh, I'll touch base with them. Non-responsive.
The sellers weren't responsive.
Your agent, right, was not getting back to you, right?
Our agent was, every time we talked to her, she was getting back to us. They were not getting back to her. Now, mind you, a company in Colorado had purchased the house, an investment company, and their agent was a local agent who turned out to be a bit of a scumbag. Sorry, it is what it is. If you read his reviews on Google,
out, but tell me who it is.
His first name, I believe, was Jimmy. Oddly enough, I'll have to find the name.
Okay,
I'll tell you after. I'll look for it and find it. So we're
go ahead and
literally
that guy is a jackwad.
So then finally, now mind you, we're supposed to close in November. My company's already agreed to move my territory, so I'm starting that job December. Our house is on the market. It has now agreed. It is now sold. It's closing end of November, early December.
Heard.
Have no choice. We got to move at this point. Haven't heard anything. So finally, we get to, I forget the exact date, but it was in November. We're supposed to close on a Tuesday or a Wednesday. The Saturday before, mind you, during this whole time, we had driven up there trying to get, look at the house, trying to get stuff done, trying to get all this taken care of. The Saturday before, they finally said, we're not fixing it.
Was it in the contract to be fixed?
Yes.
It was signed?
And the specific wording was to remediate the situation. So that 2 weeks prior, they had someone go in, put a license plate cover over the hole, to remove the squirrel, put a license plate cover over the hole, and they had an inspection go in, and they said, yeah, there's shit and piss everywhere. There's a
Did they
nest
at least
in here.
drywall over the license plate?
No. And they're like, that's the extent of what we're doing. That's not remediating the issue. Remediate means to clean and gut. And then when they found that it was going to cost $10,000, $15,000 to gut everything, and I'm like, that's your problem, not mine.
It is, yeah.
And our agent, I'm not going to throw a name out there, basically said that's not my problem.
Well, Randy, what would you have done if you were his agent? How would you get that situation
Well,
solved?
first of all, I would have paid to get it done, and I would have called in contractor friends and called in favors and would have got it done for a fraction of that number, and we would have closed. I mean, that's what we do all the time. We do that 4 or 5 times a year. There's a situation that comes up that we have to step up and be a hero without wanting to be a hero, buying a washer and dryer, buying a new refrigerator. We've had several instances where they close on a house and 7 days later the air conditioner goes out. Mm-hmm. And it was just bad timing. And we call in favors, call in people. I'll write them a $2,000 check. The relationship is way more important than that one deal. Now, it sounds like you probably didn't use that agent again and bought a house with someone else.
Yeah, so...
Did you at least get your Goodwill money back or whatever?
Well, that was another fight. So I think on Monday, we drove here on Monday. We took the day off work, got someone. I think we got someone to watch Micah, or I think we might have brought him with us. Drove here on Monday to find an apartment. We had no choice.
Yeah.
So we found an apartment. Thankfully, that was another fiasco. But we found an apartment, and then we spent the next. We didn't move into our new house till February. We spent the next 2 months looking at like 100 houses between construction and everything like that. But no, as soon as the agent and the person who oversaw the broker, is that correct? Basically told us that's your problem. We said cancel the contract. They're violating the contract. It took us weeks of fighting to get our money back. They wanted certain wording. We wanted certain wording.
There you go.
Yeah, and I mean, we had given them a fat check because we were like, we want this house. So it took weeks of fighting, and that agent and that broker was not even attempting to back us at all. So yeah, we didn't use that agent. I think we used 2 or 3 more agents again, and we just were getting like, we're bothering
average service.
We're bothering you. I'm sorry, we're bothering you. And then we finally got like a really awesome agent.
You get that in the November, December time period, especially December if that's when you're looking at homes. Agents, they take 3 weeks of that month off completely. So that's when you were looking.
I felt like I was getting part-timers, which I have no issue with, but I feel like that's what
Well, there's 2,500 agents, give or take, in the Savannah Board of Realtors, of which only 1,000 of them sell homes. So there's a chunk of them that never sell a home, or they sell 1 home a year or 2 homes a year, whatever the number is. They are part-timers. And be honest with you, Harrison and I talk about it all the time. This market needs a good this whole town needs an enema. What did Joker say in Batman? We need a market crash to fix some of this, to get some of these part-timers out that's not doing what they're supposed to do. I tell you, we get a lot of business, and I heard your podcast with Kevin. We love him. He was in one of your previous episodes about his experience with our rental company. It's amazing what happens when you just answer your damn phone. We answer our phone, and we get hundreds of calls a day from on the sales side and the rental side, and for the most part, you will hear this 20, 30, 40% of the time. Oh my God, you answer your phone. Yeah, that's what we do. We answer our phone.
Can't make any money if I don't answer the phone.
Well, and the other thing too is if you don't answer your phone, they instantly think your business is not good, and they're leaving you a bad review because you're not answering the phone. Answer the phone. Even if you can't help them, answer the phone. Yeah. We turn them over to other companies. If we don't have something, we go, hey, here's a list of the other companies out there. Here's their phone numbers. This is the person to ask for because she answers her phone, and see if they can help you.
I had a client yesterday send me a message at 7 or 8 o'clock last night and say, hey, can you call me really quick? And as soon as I got the message, I called him, and he was startled, like, oh, gosh, thanks for calling me so quickly. I really appreciate it. It's like what the people expect is it's really not that difficult and not that tough.
You enter a profession in real estate that we work when others don't. That's it. So weekends and night times, it's a part of the profession. And if you're not going to answer the phone because it's quality family time, Randy, I can't answer the phone from 5. Okay, get out of the business.
Your best line is if your spouse or family is mad at you for being on the phone, what is your response?
Well, it's funny because I said this all the time when somebody said that they're complaining because the phone's ringing. I said, you can complain when the phone's not ringing. That's the only time you can complain.
I mean, I agree with you saying. I mean, quality family time is important, but then also you're in the real estate industry, which means people are calling you when they're not working, which is going to be the times that...
It's 10 o'clock in the morning. We're doing a podcast in the middle of the week. We can do that in the real estate profession.
And I'm going to tell you something else. It's not the... They talk about quality. If you work a 9 to 5 job, then that nighttime is sacred to you. I understand that. It's family time. But in our profession, we steal time. So I can spend the morning with my kids this morning or tomorrow or whatever it needs to be, and then work when you have to. It doesn't have to be a give or take situation. And the other thing is, even if I'm at Walt Disney, and we talked about Disney World earlier and before we started recording, even if we're at Disney, I'm answering my phone. But my kids understand I will step away for a minute, answer the questions, answer the problem, go right back to having fun. That's what you have to do. You can't just set these hard boundaries out there that you're not going to do it because, Jim, you're buying a house coming from another city. You just needed answers because you need a safe nest for your family. And your ass was probably going, I don't know what we're going to do.
Pretty much.
Yeah. And how nice would it have been to have a word of advice? Okay, here's what we're going to do. We got a rental for you prepared.
Yeah.
We already got a temporary rental. That's what we would have done for sure. Move in our house here. Just don't, nail pictures up and stuff. Keep things in boxes if you can.
Don't play with your shotgun in the house.
Yeah. Well, give us a list of food you like. We'll fill your refrigerator, and then let's see if we can solve this problem and find you a house. That's what we do.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like I don't want to harp on this portion, but just thinking back, was just making me anxious because I was so upset and frustrated, and I'm just like, I felt like we were left on an island to figure
That's
it
exactly
out.
right.
And I'm just like,
It's an emotional decision.
Give me some guidance, give me some help. And it's just, if it was just me, I would have been like, screw it, I don't care.
If you were a bachelor, you could have crashed in someone's garage. You know what I mean? You could have got your sleeping bag and crashed on someone's couch. But when you have a family, you got to take care of the nest.
Yeah.
And we know that some of the most stressful times in a person's life, getting married, a death of a family member, a close one, starting a new job, buying a house, relocating to a new city. So a lot of times we'll have 2 or 3 people in the same, have the top 10 of the most stressful times in their lives.
That's why one of the most important lines to know as a real estate agent is, hey, this is what we're going to do. You got to be the person that has the plan. That, hey, this is what we're going to do. We're going to get this thing solved.
That's right.
That's what you do all the time.
They want confidence that you're going to handle it and you're going to turn it over to us. Mm-hmm. That's the part that we help.
Yeah, no, that's huge. Again, like Time Machine. If anybody ever vents one, I mean, like I said, the agent we ended up working with eventually, awesome guy, awesome crew. But yeah, if I could go back and start that whole process over, I would have been like, okay, this is where I need to be.
That's it.
It's only because you're talking to us on the podcast.
Yeah, it's just the way you've explained it and the way you reacted to what I said. I could just tell, like, okay, this is pretty much what he would do.
We solve problems.
Yeah,
that's what it is. It's being a problem solver.
That's what we do. We solve problems. I joke about we save lives. It's kind of a joke around this office. Hey, guys, we're saving lives today. Let's do it. But in reality, we're solving problems. That's what we do.
And putting out fires.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I can come up with a few of those. So obviously, you're clearly following in Dad's footsteps, I would assume.
Did you have to
I think
interview?
you can say.
Yeah.
The interview process, it was December of my freshman year, and I called him and said, Dad, I want to get my real estate license so I could pay my way through school. That was basically the interview.
It came out of the blue. I was not expecting it. His 3 older sisters, no interest in the business whatsoever.
So basically, you interviewed him, Dad. How do I get my license?
Yeah. Well, and then I was a little bit cautious that maybe this should just be like a hobby or a little part-time thing. It's fine. I never put any pressure on coming to board or working in real estate ever because they do what they want. I support all of my kids. I have a lot of them. And
he knows about most of them.
Allegedly. But what I was going to say is when he came to me and said he wanted to get a real estate license to pay his way through school, I go, damn, what a great idea.
So was your plan just to pay for school, or was your plan to then progress after you graduated?
Yeah, it was entirely just to pay through college. I think so short term that I just wanted to have enough income in school to pay my way through it and not have to worry about money. That was important to me.
You got your degree in finance. What were you wanting to do after?
I really didn't have a thought of what I wanted to do.
Well, he actually, I'll tell you, because he wanted to be a political major.
I wanted to.
Major.
Yeah.
He actually interned with the governor. The governor picked him out of thousands of college kids. I'm going to brag on him again. Picked him out of a list of. And here's the thing: the interns were supposed to be graduates or going into their master's degree program. And Harrison just finished his first semester at Georgia, and those beautiful young ladies who interviewed him up there fell in love with his good-looking self and gave him the job. So he was clearly the youngest person in the room.
Yeah,
and,
must have been that baby face with no beard back in the day, huh?
It was.
He looked 15, and
he only looks 18 now because of the beard.
And then one summer interning with the governor, he came back to me. He goes, "Yeah, I don't think I want politics anymore, Dad. I think I want to try something else." I said, "Okay, great."
Well, if that didn't convince you, this last year would have.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, but it was really just, and I know this sounds maybe shallow, but I loved the idea that whatever efforts I did and put in, I would be able to see a reward from in the form of commission checks. When I was working in the governor's office, it was an internship, and it was, you get paid no matter how much work you did. It was very little in terms of a meritocracy. I love that in real estate and in business. If you're good, you're going to get rewarded for that, and the reward comes in the form of money a lot of times. And I liked that idea.
And not to mention, I mean, like from my understanding, your dad got you the car, but you made the payments, and then
he paid cash.
Oh, okay, either way, okay, but you paid for your college tuition, so
Yeah.
Basically, just doing it as a hobby, thinking about college tuition, you made $40,000 in a year,
25, 30 grand each summer. Yeah.
Right? No, that's what I'm saying. Like, but like over a year's worth a month.
A major would be able to do the math problem and figure that out real quick on an annual basis.
I'll tell you what he did, because I kind of know what he did. It surprised me. He made $30,000 a year, every year from his freshman year on, and then when he got out and he graduated, I didn't know what direction he was going to come to. But he said, "I'm coming full time. We're going to make this work," and then he just took off from there. He and another agent are the top agents of the 25 in our entire company. He sells the most homes. He and another girl, they're neck and neck on it. But he sells a lot of homes, and he doesn't get anything from me special. That's one of the things I take pride in. He is one of the 25. He is a part of the herd, and he doesn't get any preferential treatment at all.
Although I think we should talk about the split.
He wants the split to be better. It's not. Sorry.
We're going to go ahead and take a pause real quick at this part. We'll come back and talk about any other topics that y'all want to. Doesn't necessarily have to be this long.
He's been reading the Richmond Hill history book.
Yeah, we're trying to do a history of Richmond Hill podcast. We just the only stuff we can find is Ford, so I just know a lot of.
We got to go talk to the History Museum.
If you want my honest assessment, Henry Ford came in, blazed a trail with industry, gave jobs, painted fences, installed the split rail fences. That's Henry Ford. He did that. That's why you see him in Richmond Hill, the white split rail fences. He built a school. He also built a school for African American kids. So he did well on that regard.
He's best friends with George Washington Carver.
Yeah, he did good things with him. And there's a poster somewhere in the Historical Society that shows Michelin, Firestone, Henry Ford, and Thomas Edison sitting by a campfire at Ford Plantation.
Good Lord.
Think about, did that group change the world or what?
Wow.
Those four men changed one. There's a picture of them in a
all you needed to throw was Anheuser-Busch in there.
Well, I'm going to tell you, but when he left, and he died in 47, but when he left Richmond Hill, his family wanted nothing to do with Richmond Hill. And Richmond Hill kind of died off with the jobs and stuff that went away, and it went down to a very small number of people. So my thought on it, the schools were good because the community was small. In the 70s and the 60s and 70s, the schools were really small. There were one school for every grade. So in reality, I don't think Henry Ford had much of an impact on our school system, if you want me to tell you the truth. He had an impact on getting the city on the map during the time that he was here in the 20s and 30s. He died in the 40s. But the fact of the matter is the schools were great because of the teachers and the people here. That's why.
Mm-hmm. And the taxes help.
Yeah, and the taxes were lowered in Liberty County and Chatham County. Absolutely. That helps us too.
All right, so guys, obviously we are back. We just wanted to go ahead and wrap this up. I know y'all have some stuff y'all have planned to do today. Are there any final notes, things that you want our audience to take away?
Yeah, what I would like to talk about is that this is a great city. This is absolutely a great city. This is it's a caring city. It's a very supportive city. We kind of use "We Are Richmond Hill" all the time in our podcasts and stuff, and not our podcast. I'm sorry, of our social media posts and we promote that hashtag all the time. We've started one we're trying to get to go out there. Love our city, hashtag Love Our City. But it's just a great city to be a part of. Great schools, great people, good people that come in now. And I'll tell you what I like about it. It's not a typical Georgia town. I mean, Jim, you're from Boston. I mean, you're more accepted in this town than anywhere. It's not the old boys club of he's a Yankee, he's a Southern, or whatever it is. Harrison, you want to add to that?
Yeah, and I think from a business standpoint, planting your flag in a city of 20,000 people is probably not the smartest business move.
Yeah.
And when you were preaching it 4 or 5 years ago, I'm thinking, man, why would you not just want to go into Savannah? Because there's so much more business if you include Savannah. Well, he was right when he said there's plenty of business to go around here, and if you plant your flag here and be the number one real estate company here with service and give backs and being a part of the community and the schools, it will pay dividends. And you ended up being right.
Well, we took the number one spot.
Wait. So Dad's right sometimes? Is that what you're saying?
He normally is. He normally is.
Well,
hey, Dad, you have this recording. We can make sure we get that recorded just for you.
Put that on a loop, please. What I was going to say is we've taken the number one spot in Richmond Hill, and we're very grateful to be a part of it. We love it. We're humbled about it, and it just proves, and I tell the agents, listen, just keep doing good, and you don't have to shout from the rooftop. There's 9 out of the 10 things we do for this community, you would never know it. The few things we do, and it's posted on Facebook, we get a lot of credit for it, but they have no idea. We spend at least $150,000 a year giving back to this community just because we care about it.
And I think the work that you guys are doing as well.
Oh, my gosh.
You know, not highlighting us, but highlighting the other people in this community. There's other people that have done podcasts around the town in Richmond Hill, and it has been a massive failure. If you want to, I mean, if we're being honest, but you guys are doing it in a very organic, natural, genuine way and highlighting some of the people around the city, and I think that's pretty special.
I tell you, I listened to all your episodes. I was a fan right away. When your wife Laura called me about being a part of it, I said, no problem. I'll be a part of that. Listened to all the episodes, and one of the episodes I got a shout out in from Kevin. I was surprised. I was like, my gosh, he just talked about
you have been obsessed with this podcast.
That's because I think Kevin touched base on a little bit of everything on that podcast.
I think he had a list of every business. He goes, and McDonald's right there on 17. We really had a great Egg McMuffin the other day.
Kevin gets around.
That's because Kevin is all those lithium batteries.
Well, I don't know if you know this, Kevin did the IT in this building.
I think he said that.
I tell you what, here's a great Kevin story. My wife is beautiful, and she's younger than I am, and she's terrific. Long story short, for the first couple of weeks that Kevin was doing the IT in this building, he thought Shannon was my daughter. Well, Shannon comes to me, my wife, and she says, hey, Kevin thinks that you're my dad. And I go, I don't think so. And she goes, no, I'm serious. He's kind of said that. And I said, all right, just let it go. It's no big deal. Well, I let it go for a couple of weeks, and then we come in the office one day, and I said, he's there, and Shannon's there, and Kevin's in the lobby with us. And I finally was going to tell him. I said, Kevin, you know Shannon's my wife, right? Bless his heart. It was a good Southern term. Bless his heart. He goes, get the hell out.
He buckled.
He said, good for you. Good for you.
In his mind, that's something I always tell my friends when I'm joking around. I'm like, you out-punted your coverage on that one.
No,
you out-kicked your coverage, yeah.
Sure.
No doubt.
Hey, we're very grateful. Thank you for asking us to be a part of this. We're very grateful.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you. This has been fun. We've enjoyed talking to all these businesses, and we're looking forward to doing more. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Yes, thank you.
Laura Scaly Photography is a locally owned family photographer here in Richmond Hill. She specializes in natural light lifestyle photography. She loves turning clients into friends, and I can definitely speak to that in our house. She offers one of the biggest discounts around for military and first responders at 20%. She loves to build up local businesses, and she'll collaborate with them and help them get their pictures for their business. And if you check out today on her website with the code BECAUSE, you'll get 10% off.
In the early morning hours at the Because We Want to podcast studio, the podcast boys are asking for money.
If you're still listening to this episode, we need your help.
The lights are flickering. The air is cutting on and off. People, we're running out of money.
We don't have any bills to pay yet,
Yet.
but we will soon.
Yes.
Some of the things we'd like to do are going to cost money.
Money.
We want to upgrade our platform.
Yes.
We want to upgrade some of our equipment.
Yes.
We're going to bring some video content.
Maybe. Depending on how pretty we feel. Everybody, in all seriousness, we do appreciate all the sponsorship help we have received already. If you haven't noticed, we do sound a whole lot better from our first couple episodes, which the audio quality was just terrible. We tried our best, but working with what we had, that we sound better now. And we were able to upgrade our equipment from a local sponsorship here, which we do appreciate. We've gotten a few other sponsorships that have helped us upgrade, for advertising and things like that. Jim, why don't you go ahead and let the people know how else they can help us out there?
Yeah, so obviously we're talking about money on anchor.fm/because we want to /support. They can access that from the website. Through our Facebook, monthly donation, that would help us continue. Also, there's a way to help us that doesn't involve money. Just like and share our podcast on any social media platform. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter. Like and share us on whatever podcast platform you're listening on.
Right, absolutely.
And if there's anything that we haven't talked about yet that you'd like to hear, local small business, local influencer, heck, anything you want to, because
we want to,
just reach out to us at becausewewantTopodcast@gmail.com or message us on our Facebook page, and we'll respond and we'll do our best to add that content for you.
Absolutely. All right, that's enough talk about money. We just want to go ahead and thank everybody who has helped us so far.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.